Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to all of the Aquariuses out there. If you are an Aquarius sun, moon, rising, or north node, this is your tarot reading for the upcoming month of December. And in case any of you are interested, I will be using the Tarot of the Sacred Feminine deck, one of my favorites. So let's see what Aquarius has in store for the end of 2024. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles upright, the Two of Wands reverse, the Five of Swords reverse, the Ten of Wands upright, and then at the bottom of the deck, the Two of Pentacles reverse. And under the Two of Pentacles is the Nine of Pentacles reverse. And the Eight of Pentacles upright under the Nine. So first impressions. You may have been going through a period. This feels like self-deception. You may have been lying to yourself for a while, but you're finally coming out of that. And maybe when you were in this deceitful, that's like the best way to describe it. I think for a while you were not conscious that you weren't being honest with yourself. And through those unconscious decisions, maybe you had a clear trajectory of where you wanted to go, but then something happened that made you take more responsibility for yourself, for your energy, for your path, and potentially for other people as well. And whatever that thing was, it ended that perpetual pattern, that perpetual cycle of the self-deception. And so it kind of like woke you up out of a slumber almost. And so before, where you were very sure of where you were going, if you came to what looked like an impasse, you just channeled and you could feel into where was the right direction to go. Now there's less clarity because it's almost like you're relearning who you are, what you like to do, how you function, and everything like that. And it's really interesting. And so you might feel like you were on the precipice of something big, like you were steady, working hard, moving towards something that's represented by this Nine of Pentacles reverse. And like you were almost at the finish line until this thing happened. So I use like getting a job as an example. Say you interviewed for a position at some random company. Who knows? You're an Aquarius, so that most likely wouldn't happen. But regardless, you interviewed for a job at this random company and they had you go through a strenuous process. Like you had first the screening, then the phone interview, then the Zoom interview with like 8 different people, and then you had another Zoom interview with 2 people, and then you had to go in person for 2 more interviews. And like you got to this like the last interview, and it was while you were sitting in that chair that you realized this is not for me. Like essentially the job was yours and you knew it, but you like again, it's like you woke up out of a slumber. And now everything feels like it's wrong. It feels like that clarity and that sureness you were moving towards doesn't exist anymore, and you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders because of it. And now where the path ahead was clear before, it's blurry. But at the same time, you feel a sense of no, like, it's almost like your mind wants to be frustrated that it went through all of these lengths to get to where you thought you were going, just to turn around and be like, nope, that's not right. I'm not doing that, blah, blah, blah. But the Queen of Pentacles upright tells me this, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. And actually you pivoting, you swerving is what's going to lead you to ultimately this Queen of Pentacles energy. Where before you were headed to the Nine of Pentacles, which is still good, but like it could be better. Queen of Pentacles. It's patience, it's understanding, it's sitting in success how you define it. And it's like I love the symbolism here because the ocean represents ultimate fertility in that sense. So your success can look exactly how you want it to, and you will have total creative freedom to create it, creative, whatever, to create the life you want from where you will be. But first, you have to move through the smog in order to get there. And so I think that's what December is going to be. It's going to be kind of like clearing out the smoke of where you thought you were going and reconnecting with your soul, reconnecting with your true passions, reconnecting with your authenticity and your uniqueness to find what works for you and where is the right way to go. And that Eight of Pentacles energy, you're going to have to work hard. It's not going to be something that's going to be given to you. But since you will be moving from a heartfelt, a heart led place, it's almost going to feel like it's worth it. It's worth it. I don't know if you guys just heard my cat. She is mewing like a maniac. But, and maybe she's confirming that the work will be worth it. And you'll feel that sense of not pride. I feel like we need to redefine pride because it gets such a negative connotation, but you're allowed to feel proud of the work you put in if you're doing it for the betterment of yourself, for the betterment of others, etc. And Aquarius, just as who you are as a sign, you are naturally a humanitarian. So you doing better for yourself in turn does better for the world because you're coming more into alignment with your soul's purpose, with your path, and with the ability to touch the lives and impact more people. So don't feel shameful of being prideful of the work you put in because the work you put into yourself ultimately is mirrored in the world around you. And I just remembered Pluto did just move back into Aquarius on the 19th. So, depending what placements you have in Aquarius, you can be vastly feeling those impacts, especially once Pluto starts to creep closer. Um, and I think that makes sense then. That makes sense why you felt like you were headed in one direction. Then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, it's the destruction. It's Pluto's destruction, the clear cut, the forest fire, the eruption. So everything can burn and crumble that was, so you can rebuild anew in a way that aligns to who you are today. Not who you were yesterday, not who you thought you were yesterday, but who you are right now. And as you connect more deeply with that person, efficiency and oh, what's that word I want? Oh, I can't think of it. It starts with a U. I don't know, but you will be, it's going to feel chaotic. It's going to feel like you're lost in the sauce, blindfolded. You just hear explosions going off around you, but ultimately it's for your highest good. It's for your highest good because what doesn't align to you needs to be completely ripped away in order for you to build anew of what does. And again, you building anew from that level ground is not only helping yourself, but it's helping the world. It's helping the world. So as you're lost in the sauce, just remember that. Just remember that. Let's see what else wants to come out. Aquarius. Buzzing, because Ten of Wands is yelling at me. That sense of burden you may feel, whether for your own yourself and your own actions or for others, shift the perspective from burden to responsibility. And if you don't like the word responsibility, sit with it and ask yourself why you don't like it and redefine what responsibility means to you. Seven of Pentacles reverse, Queen of Swords reverse, Ten of Cups reverse, Justice reverse. And then underneath Justice is the Ace of Swords upright. And then under the Ace of Swords is the Hierophant reverse, which this card in this reversal is such Aquarius energy, which I think you'll need, especially focusing on the other cards that came out. Oh, and Three of Pentacles reverse. So much reverse energy. Aquarius, you guys need to get out of your heads. It's almost like you're blindly letting your unconscious guide you. which actually, based on what we spoke on earlier, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because your unconscious guiding you is letting your primal nature take control once more. But it's important to find the balance between the conscious and the unconscious. You want both of them to alternate driver and passenger seat. You don't want one to be in the driver's seat and the other one to be kicked out at the last rest stop 800 miles back in the desert. It's a co-creation. And I think right now you are leaning too I think for a while you were leaning too heavily into the conscious, into the logical, until you had that realization. And so it's almost like you had to shut your brain off in order to make yourself not seem crazy to yourself, because you were on like a solid trajectory until you're like, nope, never mind, I'm throwing it all away. And so in order to trust yourself, you almost had to shut the brain down. But now you're letting your unconscious have too much control, which can be just as detrimental. And it can keep you from fulfillment and blessings and things that are truly here to help you grow, help you get a grip on your mental state, help you not only be proud of the work you've done, but also recognize that there is still work to be done. And then, of course, messing with your karmic retribution and just your karmic path in general. But with the Hierophant reverse here, with the Hierophant reverse, this is an energy of anarchy. When the Hierophant's upright, he's very traditional. He goes by the books. It's like the Pope in that way. He is the messenger of the gods for the emperor. He can take the higher power, the higher wisdom of the spiritual world and put it in layman's terms for the emperor and for the empire as a whole, for the common folk. But when he's reversed, it's the opposite of that. He has the access to these wisdoms, he has the access to this divine power, but he uses it in a way that shakes the foundation, that alters the status quo. And I think in a way you need this energy for your life right now as a guiding force to navigate you through this chaos that that you're facing after leaving the last path you were on, after pivoting, making that sharp right turn. You'll need to tap into this energy. But again, it's important. This is not the only energy that you are tapping into. The Ace of Swords offers a bit of level headedness. So, where the Hierophant reverse is, again, tapping into that primal nature, that anarchy, that just like, I am doing everything against the status quo. If the man tells me to jump, I am laying down and rolling, like rolling down a hill. Like, it's completely like, whatever you say, I'm going to do the opposite. Where the Ace of Swords is offering that opportunity to be more strategic with the way you're moving through the world. I think if you find a way to combine these energies in your life in the month of December, you will find a seat of power in your own life where you're able to navigate it with such ease and effortlessness that it'll feel like magic. And it kind of is, because you're keeping yourself open to the channelings, to the messages that your guides and source and, whatever higher power you believe in, you're keeping yourself open to those messages and not only hearing them, but allowing them to guide you and trusting that even if they go against the status quo, it's for your highest good and it's helping you find not more logic. It's helping you find wisdom in the illogical. And from there, you're able to navigate to a more clear and level headedness that will bring you to where you want to go. And I think that's the key here with all of this reverse energy. And whenever cards are reversed, the upright energy is still available to you. You'll just have to, either shift your perspective or, alter the way you're going about it. So, like 10 of Cups, upright. this fulfillment, this emotional fulfillment, this togetherness, this harmony you feel inside and with others and your community, that's available to you. The Queen of Swords, again, similar to the Ace of Swords. When it's reversed, it's like mental fog, it's unsuredness, it's blind leading the blind. But when she's upright, she is diligent, she is precise, she knows how to use, she is capable of using her tongue to scorn, but she knows that she has that power and she uses it for the betterment. Rather than scorning, she scolds in a way that pierces enough to make change. The Seven of Pentacles, reverse. When it's upright, it's recognizing and being proud of yourself for the hard work you put in so far, knowing you are just that much closer to your ultimate goal and still having the courage to continue the work. And then, of course, we have Justice, realigning to your karmic path, having it unfold. And not only that, having the karma, again, the karmic retribution play out the way it is intended to. But in order to get that upright energy, you need to find balance between your unconscious and your conscious mind. You need to find balance. You can't let one rage above the other. The unconscious is going to want to rage. The conscious is going to want to control when they're in their shadow aspect. So it's about finding the balance, not letting this one rage so hard that it sets everything on fire again, and then you're starting at square one, and not letting this one grip onto control so hard that the unconscious doesn't even have a say in anything. You need to find the balance in that. And the Three of Pentacles reverse wants to be spoken of as well. You're going to try to isolate. You're going to try to self-isolate during this time. But again, when it's upright, it's collaboration that's available to you with others. And collaboration that can help you find that level ground toward the success that you define, that you want, that you can envision yourself having. You're going to want to self-isolate, but it's important that you recognize the beneficial aspects that collaboration can bring into your life. And to use your discernment to know when the collaboration is worth it and when it's okay to say no. Because again, Aquarius, you guys are social creatures. I should say you're humanitarian. You're humanitarian, so you put humanity as a whole first, oftentimes, which can make you loners. It's such a dichotomy that of the energy that you guys have within you, that you want to be by yourself, you want to be unique, but you know that your uniqueness and your lonesome is part of the whole. And it's like you're alone, but you're still part, and you know you're still part of the circle of everything, the tree of life, if you will. But there is wisdom and there's a lot of benefits to being open to the knowledge and the wisdom that other people can offer you in this time. So keep yourself open. Don't just stray away from the crowd because it's what you're used to. There will be a few times where you will be welcomed in. You will be invited in. And instead of saying, no, I'd rather just go walk in a field and listen to house music by myself and dance under the moonlight, which honestly sounds amazing. Invite me next time. Take that invitation. Go to the things. Open yourself up and allow yourself to be vulnerable and allow this Hierophant reverse energy to be seen. Because this is where the change happens. If you want to disrupt the status quo, you need to be a part of the status quo in order to disrupt it. Or not a part of it, but you need to infiltrate the status quo in order to disrupt it the way that you would like to. So just keep that in mind. You can't disrupt the status quo. If this is what's happening over here and you're all the way over here, what are you going to do? Throw an acorn? Like, you can't do anything from over here. You need to integrate. And through that integration, you will find people to work with. You will find a more level ground. You'll find that your path does start to clear up from all of that smoke that we talked about at the beginning. But again, it's about balancing these two. Balancing these two together. So it's not one over the other. It's not rage and it's not control. It's an integration. Once you master that, you know what? I'm really excited to do your January reading now. Because this is interesting. This is interesting. And it's almost like it's complete, it's all homework. It's all homework in a way. Because you have the capability to access all of the energies that can bring about manifestations, fulfillment, success, all of that. But it's up to you to find the balance within yourself in order to make the space to make it happen. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a plane going by very loudly. I feel like it's a sign because this feels complete. But with all of that said, of course, this was a general reading, so it's possible not everything resonated. If that is the case, you can check out my website in the description below. You can book with me directly on there for tarot, astrology, and human design readings, and numerology is coming in 2025, so keep a lookout for that. If you did like this reading at all, you can leave me a like or a comment and tell me how it resonated. And of course, we do this every single month for all of the signs. So if you're interested in getting your forecast for the month ahead, according to the tarot cards, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see you guys here in the future. But other than that, Aquarius, I'm just gonna emphasize this about finding the balance, not trying to tame the wild, not trying to control the situation, finding wisdom in that integration of both sides, finding wholeness, finding authenticity in that. And then who knows what the future holds, but that's your homework for the month of December. And also not to fear the chaos because we're just getting started with Pluto and Aquarius. So it's going to be a long transit, but I know, I know if any sign can make it work to their advantage, it's Aquarius. So I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.